Hello guys, welcome to Travel Mishap. This video will be about cost of living in the city of London. So I have previously made one video in Hindi for the Indian audience or Hindi speaking audience, and this video I am making in English so that it reach to the wider audience as well. So it's very important whenever we are migrating to any country to note down what is the cost of living of that particular country, or else we will end up having a travel mishap or immigration mishap. So, in this video, we will talk about what is the cost of living in London as on December 2023. This video is also applicable if people are coming in 2024. And I think this video will be very important. I will be breaking down month on month cost or expenses of living in the city of London. City of London is quite an expensive place to live, and you have to calculate each and every aspect before deciding what should be your salary or whether you have to accept a certain offer letter or not. So let's get into this video, and I will break down all the expenses for a couple, how much it costs for a couple to live in the city of London. And based on this analysis, you can decide whether the offer letter which you already have is worth it or not, or you should consider some other offer. Let's get into this video. First point is rent. For any country or wherever you are living, rent is the major cost or major expenses you need to bear. So in this video, I will be talking about 1 BHK apartment as well as 2 BHK. For 1 BHK apartment, you will require £1,600 to somewhere around £2,000, and for 2 BHK, it will require £2,000 to £2,500 per month. Now the rent cost also depend on where you are living. So London is divided into different zone 1 to zone 6. So this cost, what I'm saying, it's from zone 2 to zone 4. I'm not talking about zone 1 because it's unattainable, and also not regarding zone 5 and 6 because it's too far. Let's talk about mortgage rate as well. As you know that currently mortgage rates are quite high all over the world, and the current mortgage rate is 5%. Again, the mortgage for 1 BHK will come approx 1,600, and for 2 BHK apartment, it will come around 2,000 to 2,500. Next is council tax. Council tax you pay basically for society as a whole, to maintenance of the whole area, be it the garden, parks, schools, or taking care of the elderlies. This is very important cost, and it will vary from place to place, and the approx amount which you can consider is £120 to £200 approx. For 1 BHK apartment, it will be low, and for 2 BHK, it will be high. So it depends on square feet of your area as well, where you're living as well as whether that broth is richer broth or less privileged broth basically. So this is the council tax which you have to pay per month, £120 to £200. Next cost is regarding grocery. Grocery is very important, and for a couple, you will be incurring somewhere around £400 grocery, because in past few months, we have seen a surge in grocery price as well. So for two people, one couple, approx £400 you have to consider for grocery. It include the washing liquid as well, and all other stuff. So yeah, it's quite high. It increased substantially in last 1 or 2 years, but this is cost which you have to bear on month basis on grocery. So next we'll talk about electricity bill. Electricity bill again depend on your usage, and last year was very tough, but currently it's still fine. The grocery electricity bill will be somewhere around 40 to £50 for 2 BHK apartment. It depends on your usage definitely, but still. Next is regarding heating. Yeah, for winter month it will be somewhere around £80 for 2 BHK apartment, and during summers or warmer month it will be somewhere around £40. So you have to consider this cost as well. Next is regarding water cost. Let's talk about water bill. Water bill comes around somewhere 30 to 40 pound. It depend on your usage, but I'm talking about for a couple, you will approx incur this much cost. Next is Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi cost varies from 30 pound to 40 pound based on your subscription, but this is what you have to incur, which is quite reasonable over here. I feel so. Next cost is TV license. I have never heard of this license ever in my life. I migrated to various countries, but I have never thought about this cost. But this is what you have to pay to BBC to see the live match or cricket match or football match or any BBC news. So the cost is 159 pound for whole year, and monthly it's approx 13 to 15 pound for TV license. As I said, I have never heard about this cost, but this is what you have to incur. But if you are only using Netflix or YouTube or Prime, this cost is avoidable completely. Next is regarding your subscription. It includes Netflix, Amazon Prime, any other subscription which you will be watching. It will require 20 to 30 pound, I believe. That should be sufficient. Next is regarding mobile bills. So it's quite cheap over here. If you want international calls, hardly it will take 10 pound for recharge of internet as well as calling, messages and everything. So it's quite cheap over here. Next is transportation. Transportation is very, very expensive in London. I found it to be very expensive. The public transport, ideally public transport should not be that expensive, but it is. For per day you will be incurring 10 pound per person. So it depends whether you go to your office every day or you go on one day a week, you go out on weekends every week, or it depends on your as you go by. But one person one ticket will be 10 pound approx to and fro. And if you are living far from London, which is zone 5 and 6, yes, the rent will be a bit cheaper, but then you have to consider traveling cost as well. If you are living far like zone 5 or zone 6, you will end up incurring transportation cost somewhere around 14 to 16 pound for coming into the city of London and going back. So you have to consider all this cost as well when you will be deciding whether you have to live in zone 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is very important topic, because transportation costs play a really great role while deciding where you will be living. I would suggest you to live in zone 2 to zone 4, where you will be incurring transportation cost per day 7 pound to 10 pound maximum, which can come up to, for a couple it will come up to 400 pound a month. So you have to consider this cost. 400 per month, I guess this is the cost you will be incurring if you are going out like 4-5 days a month, a week. Next is gym membership. Gym membership is approx 15 pound to 20 pound, depend on your location where you're living, but that's what. Childcare is really important topic. We should touch upon this. If you have one child between 0 to 3 years, you will end up incurring 1,000 pound per child. If your child is more than 3 years, then the school and the food will be available. All those facility will be borne by government only, which you are paying tax for. But if your child is between 0 year to 3 year, you will be incurring 1,000 pound per child in the city of London, because both of you will be working. This is what I assume, that both the couple will be working. So child cost will be somewhere around 1,000 pound. Now the conclusion, this is the cost you will be incurring if you are staying over here. So the monthly cost for one couple is somewhere around 2,600 pound to 3,500 pound, and if you have a child, then 3,600 pound to 4,500 pound as well. So when you're making this decision whether you have to migrate to the city or not, you have to take all this thing into consideration. And also, I would highly recommend, if you are coming as a couple, the gross income of the family the gross income of the family should be more than 100k to live decent life in London. Because if it's less than 100k gross, then it will be very, very difficult to stay in this city because it's very, very expensive. Hope this video has given you some clarity how much salary you should be expecting while migrating, minimum salary you should be expecting while migrating to London, or you should reconsider whether you have to migrate to London or not in 2024. Because yeah, it's very, very expensive as of now, but it's a beautiful city and there are other advantages as well of living in this city. So but the conclusion will be definitely your salary, gross income of a couple should be more than 100k if you want to migrate over here. I would like to bring such more videos. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Take care. Bye.